Didn't catch any of the bio. Oh, I did. Bio. Good evening. Tonight we're coming to you live from the bio. You know the bio, where everything smells of peach pits. Apparently.
It's out of context. There's something stupid that has happened a few days ago.
Because we're all about sharing the out of context moments.
Because I was saying that a BO mixes together and that's why it smell like peach pits.
Yeah.
But I actually said bio.
Yeah, like we haven't even actually addressed that yet. Like how our mixed BO can become peach pit smells, considering neither of us have eaten peaches in a little while. Because we don't have any peaches in the house, although we do need to get some peaches now. But yeah, just somehow Paige came out with bio instead of bio, and she was like, "It's I misspoke." And clearly, what she meant to say was the bio.
I wasn't even in a pussy butthole.
In the bio. Anyway, good evening, one and all. So, I did briefly say it in the thing, in the tweets and shit, but obviously, I'm assuming most people haven't actually seen that. Everything just sort of abruptly ended last time when we were streaming this on Friday, because we had a massive power cut. A really big power cut that just, what was it, like an hour and a half? Just pitch blackness. I was reading through the power of a torch headlight, torch beanie, and we just basically gave up on all of our plans that evening because shit went nuts. Oh shit. But yeah, we're back now. We are back. What am I doing? What have I done? Shit. Dying. Yeah. So apologies for the abruptness of the end last week. Hopefully, well, I say hopefully, I know we're pretty much done with this at the moment. It's just a case of finishing off these last little areas. What have I got? What's happening? Oh yeah, they put the power on. So yeah, I'm yeah, power cut. We're back. It's all good. We're gonna just finish this off. And yeah, hopefully shouldn't take too long. Also, I suppose this marks a beautiful bookend, I suppose, in its own way, because tomorrow's my 1 year anniversary of doing this.
Really?
Yeah. My first Final Fantasy XIV stream was on the 13th of December 2023, and it is currently the 12th of December 2024. I was considering doing something bigger and more exciting, but in light of the chaos that was last Friday, I just wanted to sort of finish this. And we'll see where we go from there. Oh, I can just go backwards and forwards to the same room now, aren't I? Yeah. I did go through here, didn't I? Yeah, through in the TV. Apologies. I don't know what else I'm going to do at the moment. Won't be doing anything this weekend because we've got a nice couple of plans. But given that this will be the end of Silent Hill 1, I am open to suggestions as to what we can do for the Thursday slots. Do obviously have a bunch of things in mind. Get off me, ghosty boys. But I don't know why I'm talking about that right now. Right now it doesn't particularly matter. How is everyone? Sorry, I haven't even asked. And also, hello. As you might have guessed, I am here once more with my beloved Bun,
Hello.
my wonderful Paige,
Hello.
and our noisy PP is around here somewhere.
I think she's in the crate.
Oh, she's being quiet.
She hasn't been bad lately.
She has been having a much better week.
She was a bit barky today, but so a little bit more than yesterday, but it wasn't that bad. She calmed down most of the time.
By her standards, pretty good. Oh, ghost. Don't think you can actually hurt. Oh, you can. I thought you couldn't actually hurt these, but I was wrong. When in doubt, stomp the little shadow children. You heard me. Oh, of course. Key of Artatarn. Because there's no more electricity in there. We're also buzzing. Why are we buzzing? It's because we're nearly dead again. That'll do. God damn it. Yes, it's been a very exciting time. Since last we spoke. Or has it? I can't actually remember. I suppose if you don't count Tuesday, I should really make a decision now, because given that these videos are all available on the YouTubes, it kind of doesn't make sense to keep conversations going between the different series. I have no idea what I'm even going on about at this point. Help me. What am I talking about? Okay. What have we been up to? I've completely forgotten. I'm mostly just stalling for time because I've completely forgotten where I went to. Oh, it's this awful room. That lock is jammed. That lock is jammed. That lock is jammed. Pretty sure this is not the right hallway. How did I get lost so soon? I mean, 6. Is it down here? No. No? That door. That door? That door. Let's just swing wildly. Hey, it got me. Fuck. There we go. Now we know where we're going. Now we're reading. We're renting weeklies on the same bloody blockbuster. Oh.
Everything is going according to plan, sheltered in the womb.
But it's not done yet. Half the soul is lost. That is why the seed lies dormant.
And what soul remains captured in that husk is buried deep down in the subconscious.
Are you trying to say it won't work? That wasn't our agreement.
No, these are just stalling tactics. If we lend a hand, we will be able to get power. Never fear, the promise shall not be broken.
It shall not.
But the power we could draw now will be very weak. Almost nothing. Unless we get the other half of the soul.
It is quite fascinating that they chose that.
Use a magical spell. Feeling this child's pain, it's sure to come.
But that will take time.
Back here again. This is a bad time room. Half a soul. Disc of Ouroboros. Alessa. Half a child's soul in a burned body. A burned body in the basement area of a hospital. A neatly kept room. All the puzzle pieces lie here. Can you put them together? I actually forget how much detail the final scenes go into. You know, when you play a game so many times and like look into it a lot, it's funny how easy it is to forget like what you actually learned from the game and what you learned from your external research and just general discussions of the disc of Ouroboros. Use the disc. Use the Ankh. Use the crest of Mercury. Use the amulet of Solomon. And finally, the dagger of Melchior. The door is open.
Come along. No,
Ghosts.
no, I don't want to. Do what Mommy tells you now.
Mommy.
Just want you to lend me a teeny bit of your power. That's all.
Just a
No,
teeny bit.
I don't want to do it. It will make everyone happy, and it's for your own good, too. Oh, but
Yeah,
Mommy,
James just
I just
James.
want to be with you.
Harry just standing there like a doofus.
Just two of us. Please understand.
James.
Oh, yes, I see. Maybe Mommy has been wrong. Mommy! Why didn't I see this before? There's no reason to wait. Herein lies the mother's womb, containing the power to create life.
Here and where?
I could have done it all myself.
You did, in a way.
Mommy?
And they fade. The lock is jammed. And that lock is jammed. Look at these spooky fucking paintings. From there I was wondering why I couldn't run. But I could. It just didn't activate for some reason.
I was shocked to realize the talisman of Metatron was being used.
Metatron.
In spite of the lost soul returning at last. Just a little longer and all would have been for naught. It's all because of that man. We must be thankful to even though Alessa has been stopped. His little girl has to go. What a pity.
A wonderfully evil laugh.
Freeze! What in the devil's name?
The devil.
Ugh!
Dahlia,
Well, well, well. To think you'd make it this far.
where's Cheryl? What have you done to her?
What are you talking about? You've seen her many times, restored to her former self.
Cheryl is gone.
I'm in no mood for jokes.
Don't you see? She's right there.
That's absurd.
You are the only one who thinks so.
Why? Why are you doing this?
Ultimate
It's been a
power.
long 7 years. For the 7 years since that terrible day, Alessa has been kept alive, suffering a fate worse than death. Alessa has been trapped in an endless nightmare from which she never awakens. He has been nurtured by that nightmare, waiting for the day to be born. That day has finally come. The time is nigh. Everyone will be released from pain and suffering.
Somehow, I don't believe you.
Our salvation is at hand. This is the day of reckoning, when all our sorrows will be washed away. When we return to the true paradise. My daughter will be the mother of God.
I have many things to say. Ooh. Here it goes. Mother of God. Also that music. Ha! You got shot. And look who it is.
Screwing around. Return things to how they were before.
Kaufman!
Peanut.
Did I ask for this?
I'm watching you.
Nobody uses me.
Nobody uses you.
Get away with this.
Oh yes, no one's gonna get away with it.
Your role is over. We don't need you anymore. What do you think you can accomplish by coming here?
My, aren't we getting cocky? Bet you can't see this.
A gloves! I
A
thought I got
gloves.
rid of that!
All I had to do was plant it somewhere for you to find. You all get out. Business.
Hello.
Ah, you're easy.
So,
And there's more where this came from.
okie doke. Have fun.
Stop it!
So she started to shoot.
Oh, is that what she got? Me on the final boss.
Cool, lady.
I love you too.
Have fun.
You too. Tumble, slow, slow tumble.
What the?
Huh, indeed. That sound. It's a fucking demon, bitch. Got red fucking lightning and everything. Is this your god? And we don't have the rifle, so we're just going to have to blast away, Meryl. Where is it? It's not even on screen. Ah, there it is. How bad did that hurt? Eh, not very. Blast away! Blast away! Shit. Oh shit, did it kill me? Fuck. Didn't see that coming. So that is a good old one-hit kill right there. Good, well, 3-hit kill, but still. So that's the final boss. Oh, and we just come straight here. Let's skip. I know, this is a thrilling boss fight. Fuck. Fuck. Ah, really? That just goes wherever you go? Oh shit, I only got 3 shots. I might actually be in trouble. Okay. Yeah, these tips are not very useful right now. Continue in, please. These kinds of tips are only handy in earlier parts of the game, not against the final boss. Skip, we know. Damn it. Is it even possible to actually dodge that? How about we not try? Kind of a cool shot, really. Shit, you're not working. Riveting. Oop. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Nope. Wait, what? That killed me? I just healed. Well, that's kind of bullshit.
I was shocked to realize.
Yeah. Ah. There is a way of running, of side running. Ah. Wee. Oh, what the fuck? Come on. Hmm.
I was shocked. Reload, reload my guns. Shoot this dude. Nope. Ah. You're running in circles now, bitch. I'm gonna get them. Is that an effective escape technique? Hey, that actually worked this time. Who would have thought? Huh. Now, would you look at that? There is a way of dodging, apparently. Oh, shit. So the secret is you press R1 to strafe left, left to turn left, R1 to strafe right, left to turn left, and square to right. Hello, child. Peanut. Apologies. Don't know why she's suddenly all excited. I assume I'm actually hitting it. Hello. No, baby. Yay! Look at that! That's technique there. Technique right there. But does that make this more of an interesting boss fight? That's the question. I'm weirdly happy with this rather dumb thing. Good. That got me. Hey, we did it. I was actually genuinely worried we didn't have enough ammo then. Especially considering I didn't have the rifle. But we did it! We beat whatever the fuck that is. Did that beast just call me daddy? PP, what are you doing? Hello. And just like that, we have now beaten Silent Hill. And gotten the good ending. The best ending, sorry. So there are 4 endings. There's good, good plus, bad, and bad plus. Everything you've seen me do here. Getting the bottle, gathering the red liquid, doing the side quest where you go and investigate the motel and find the drugs in the fuel tank of the motorbike, and saving Sybil rather than killing her are what you need to do in order to get the good plus ending. In order to get the good ending, you got to do the whole Kaufman thing, going to the motel and getting the drugs, but you don't save Sybil. You just kill her on the roundabout. Bad is you don't do this Kaufman side quest, so you don't get the drugs, but you do save Sybil, who you can see there is alive. And bad plus is you don't save Sybil and you don't do the Kaufman side quest, you just come straight here. Just finish watching this wonder. Because some shit's going down. Look who it is. That's right, Lisa. You take Kaufman to hell. Bye-bye, Kaufman. So in the good and good plus endings, Kaufman gets dragged to hell by Lisa. I don't think he's involved in the bad endings, because you don't find out about his involvement with everything. Which I'm not entirely sure if it was entirely clear what's been happening. Hell yeah. Thank you, Alessa. So that's Alessa, if that wasn't obvious. And Alessa was also the burned thing in the wheelchair that was stood by, what's her face? Dahlia, while she was raving at us. The Nightmare Realm is burning! I'm trying to gather my thoughts because I've got so many things I want to say. So that's pretty much the ending. So that ending, both Harry and Sybil escape. Harry finds a child that is given to him by Alessa in her god form, the mother of god form. And I suppose it's implied that they go and live happily ever after together. Although, a bit odd considering that you don't really spend much time with Sybil. By the end of the game, it's not as if Harry knows her. I mean, all she's done is given
given him a gun and sort of told him to be careful. So, yeah, that's the good plus ending. The good ending. Yay, Akira Yamaoka! My fucking god, I love you. So cool. Esperandote. It's this track right now. What was I saying? So the good and the bad endings. Bad endings are Harry has to fight. He fights the Mother of God version of Alessa. It's just like that angel form, instead of the demon that comes out of her, because that demon is the sort of the representation of their god that they're trying to bring about. Which I suppose I should probably go into the details of what the story actually are in case they weren't entirely clear. I know I was sort of pissing around a little bit and talking about Michael G, Susan Papa, Thessaly Lerner. Obviously none of these are real names, but I do believe we know who they all are. Yeah, so for those who don't know Silent Hill, obviously the story isn't exactly overt. Like, obviously now you've seen it start to finish if you hadn't before. This is for people who've never played this game and never watched it before. Here we go. Ending cutscene. We found a baby. Now we're gonna illegally adopt her. Yes. No one need know about it. Oh yeah, and then you get, I forgot that you get this random set of outtakes. They actually programmed fucking outtakes. Kaufman flubbed his ability to grab her. Nice one. Sybil Bennett walking off stage. Look at that smile, I suppose. Cheryl Mason. Thumbs up from Alessa Gillespie. Dahlia Gillespie looking very spooky. Oh god, she's gonna kiss us. Run away. This shit's so goofy. I love how this game simultaneously is like one of the freakiest or disturbing things that came out in the 90s, and yet it also doesn't fully take itself seriously. Oh no. Harry fell off the bench. What a fool. Oh, I'm such a doofus. Harry Mason. Okay, so what do we get? Normal game clear 1, ending good plus, 41 saves, 9 continues. Took us 4 hours, 47 minutes. Walked 4.751 kilometers. Ran 15 kilometers. Picked out 171 of 204 items. Defeated an enemy by fighting, 73. Got a 4-star rank. Short range shots, middle range shots. So those are the things I've unlocked in the background. I've unlocked the petrol can, chainsaw and the drill, and a pendant thingy. Is it okay to save? Next game mode hard. It is indeed okay to save. We do not need to worry. Let's save over this one. Next, fear. So yeah, the story of Silent Hill. I'm gonna just talk about this while this plays in the background. Interesting that that's like the second thing you see is the good plus ending cutscene in the opening roll. So the story is pretty simple in and of itself. Obviously, we know that Harry and his daughter go to Silent Hill, and then Cheryl goes missing, and Harry is desperate to try and find her. The reason why they were there, now, for anyone who's seen the first movie, which I personally am a fan of, I love the 2006 Michel Gondry Silent Hill movie. It's goofy and weird and wrong in all the best ways. It's fun. I enjoy it. Even as a lifelong fan of Silent Hill. Well, at least since Silent Hill 2. Parts of that are correct. The reason, obviously, if anyone remembers from that movie, the Cheryl character, whose name I don't think is Cheryl, I don't remember what they call her in that movie. But she does that whole pretty goofy thing about screaming Silent Hill in her sleep, and that's why they're going there. Basically, she felt this draw to the town. And Harry, being a good doting father, whilst being out and about, follows his 7-year-old daughter's requests to go and check out Silent Hill. Which is, of course, where everything starts going wrong, because she was being called there by, as they describe it, the other half of her spirit. And the other half of her spirit is Alessa Gillespie, the girl in the basement. The girl who was terribly burned and being looked after by Lisa Garland. So what happens is she's drawn there because of this soul. Now, Silent Hill is a town that is afflicted by multiple terrible, terrible situations. The first one, and it does get explored in some of the later games and other media, there's comic book series and visual novels and stuff that sort of vaguely discuss what actually has been happening there, but there's never been a concrete reasoning. But essentially what it comes down to is that there is some sort of cult that exists in Silent Hill that has forever seen itself as being human beings are trapped in a sort of purgatorial realm, or a non-paradise. Basically, the idea of heaven, hell, purgatory, all that kind of stuff. Life is just not paradise. But they can get there if they are able to convince their gods to bring them there. Look at that, giving you a hint that there might be something there later in the game. And so they worship all of these strange gods, these strange creatures that may or may not be monsters. It's hard to say. As will be explored in later games, I'm not going to go into the details of the creatures just yet, because obviously we will be going through the rest. But one day, part of the cult decides that now is the time that they need to perform a ritual in order to basically resurrect or give birth to their god. So their god can then come to Earth and reshape it into paradise for them, so that they can go to their version of heaven with their god's blessing and their god overlooking everything. So Alessa Gillespie, who I believe is one of the heads of this cult, recognizes that her daughter, Dahlia Gillespie, Alessa Gillespie, is someone who is a potential vessel for this god. She has an innate set of special abilities, be they psychic powers or extra sensory cognizance or something. It's not exactly stated outright, but she is seen as being a witch by the locals. Most of them don't trust her. She's ostracized by her school friends, as we saw by the desk in the classroom, the writing over it. Like, they don't trust her, they don't like her. But Dahlia, her mother, recognizes that this is a sign of her being chosen by their god as being a potential vessel for its rebirth. So she decides, along with her fellow cultists, to perform this ritual that would basically impregnate Alessa with their god and allow it to be born so that, like I said, it can then come forth and either reshape the world or cleanse the world or do whatever it's going to do in order to bring them to paradise. And of course, Alessa, as any young girl or any sensible non-cult ridden person might decide, doesn't actually want any of this. Like, that's a bad thing to her. She doesn't want to be sacrificed, used as a womb, and to be part of this. Like, she doesn't. I don't think she believes in any of it. She doesn't want any part of it. She just wants to live peacefully with her mum as outcasts in the town, because obviously she doesn't have any friends because they all think she's a monster, all that kind of stuff. But of course, Dahlia is a complete and utter monster. Doesn't give a fuck. So she decides, doesn't matter, as we saw with that other cutscene with the ghosts, either she'll do it, or Alessa will do it. And Alessa decides instead, this ain't happening. Clearly I'm not going to be able to stop you, so we're not doing this. And she uses her powers to start a fire, which results in the burning down of the house in which this ritual was going to be performed. Now, I think a bunch of cultists die, but obviously her mother does not, and so does some of the other main ones. And she herself, Alessa herself, although she gets badly burned, doesn't die either. And the cultists recognize that they still need her, so they're not going to let her die. So they quickly take her to Alchemel Hospital, the hospital that's in Silent Hill, where they set up a special room in the basement to try and take care for her. But they discover that in the process of attempting to kill herself and everyone else, Alessa's soul is split. It's split in two. So there's her in her burned body, basically living a perpetual nightmare of pain and agony, and the other half manifests itself in the body of a child, which is found outside of the old home in which the fire occurred. Now, depending upon stuff that is affected by later games in the franchise, either that baby is picked up by a trucker, or it is found by Harry Mason and his wife when they're out on holiday in Silent Hill. Either way, Harry Mason and his wife wind up with the baby, whether it was as a result of the trucker finding her or them finding her. They decide to take this baby in and raise it as their own. And they name her Cheryl. So, in the meantime, with Alessa's body with Alessa's soul being split in half, and her body being all fucked up, they recognize that there's nothing they can do. They can't actually fulfill this ritual. For some reason, she needs to be whole in order for it to work. But they don't know what happened to the other half of the soul. They don't know about the baby. They don't know about the fact that Harry and his wife have adopted this baby that is the other half of Alessa. They're just in a weird holding pattern where they no longer can perform the ritual, but they know that if the right things happen, they would still be able to. So they set about basically trying to create the means for the other half of Alessa's soul to return to them. In the meantime, Alessa's psychic powers and her fucked up body and her broken soul begin to, really go nuts. It starts to manifest itself in the town itself. and it seeps out from the basement of the hospital until it engulfs the entire town. And what it does is it starts to draw the world into 3 separate dimensions. You've got the basic, normal Silent Hill. Then you've got the weird, snowy, foggy Silent Hill, where roads inexplicably get destroyed and strange creatures are seen wandering around. And then you got the really fucked up Otherworld Silent Hill, which is all blood and metal and steel grating and fans and machinery that does nothing, and just a complete nightmare. And people just find themselves being sort of like dragged in and out of each of these different worlds, depending upon where they are. Like, if they're in the normal world, everything's fine. If they're in the fog world, they suddenly find they're cut off from the normal world, but they can still get by if they know what they're doing. And then, of course, if they're in the nightmare world, they're pretty much fucked. And they're trying to, like, keep an eye on everything, because remember, this is still a functioning, fully populated town at this point, and things are just going nuts. Like, they don't know what the hell's going on, in the most part, apart from the cultists. So, they realize they need to try and find a way of maintaining the town with Alessa in it, until such a time as the other half of her soul can be reunited. And so the likes of Dr. Michael Kaufman get drawn in to basically start creating this drug. Now, I believe the drug is intended to help try and subdue the people of the town so that they can actually, like, survive without going insane. It keeps them pliable, it keeps them functional, it stops the town from shutting down. And obviously, amongst those people, you have Lisa Garland, the nurse who works at Alchemel Hospital, who is put in charge of keeping an eye on Alessa and tending to her in the basement room. But of course, she barely remembers it, is barely aware of what's going on thanks to this drug. So, 7 years pass, and life is just in this holding pattern of perpetual snow fog world, evil nightmare other world, and normal world. And the population of the town is just either dropping dead from being attacked by these monsters, or just getting lost, going crazy, or just outright leaving because they know something bad's happening, even though they're not entirely sure what the fuck's going on. Until eventually it's damn near a ghost town. And 7 years later, Harry Mason and his daughter come along after she's drawn there, which is what I mentioned earlier, and that's why she's then drawn to the town, and they arrive, and then she disappears into the town because she's being drawn to her other half, to the Alessa in the hospital. And of course this then awakens Alessa more and starts making the transformations, especially into the Nightmare Realm, much more intense. And so Dahlia and Kaufman realize that now means that the time is drawing near for them to be able to perform this ritual. Because obviously, clearly she's stirring, which means her soul's on its way. But of course, Harry's a good dad. He's not going to just let his daughter wander off in the middle of nowhere into a spooky abandoned town and just leave her there. His parental instincts immediately kick in. He loves his daughter. He wants to go and rescue her. And at the same time, obviously, he's also come across Sybil Bennett, the police officer she's from the next town over, and they're aware of the weird shit going down in Silent Hill in a peripheral way. Like, she mentions how there's like an investigation into the drugs in particular. They're like, what's going on with these drugs? We need to figure that shit out. But of course, she's not fully involved, so she doesn't know the major details. But one night she's doing her patrols, and she comes by Harry at the same time that he happens to be going towards Silent Hill, which also results in her being dragged into it too. So now we've got Harry, Sybil, and Cheryl, all in Silent Hill. Alessa's stirring, creating these manifestations of her own nightmares and her own horrors in the town again, and gradually dragging everyone into it. Dahlia's getting all excited. Kaufman is getting very paranoid because he's obviously been in charge of this whole drug operation, and he doesn't fully believe that it's a good thing that what they're trying to do should happen, because he's seeing these twisted monsters that are running around and is like, do we really want to be part of this? Is this a good thing or a bad thing? So he decides he needs to try and make an effort to like undo this. And Dahlia starts trying to coax Harry towards completing the ritual by activating the seals that are around town. You know, like we did the one that's down on the docks, there was one in the school, there's one in the hospital. Yeah, he's just going around to activate those at her behest, under the impression that he's supposed to be shutting them down, but obviously he's not. And gradually it just results in the ritual beginning to be completed. And that's where the story starts to diverge into those 4 potential endings, because depending upon whether you have followed Kaufman's clues and uncover his part of the drug plot, that gives him the ability to be there at the end so that he can use the sort of potion-y formula, whatever the hell it is, I forget what she calls it, to help weaken Alessa in her like perfected state, which gives Harry the chance to be able to fight her off afterwards. And of course, Sybil becomes infected as a result of the shit that's going down, and Harry has to decide whether or not he's going to kill her as another obstruction in the way or rescue her, at which point she would then be able to be part of the finale and help fend off Dahlia in the beginning parts. So ultimately, that's what's going on. It's a combination of little scared girl's nightmares being made manifest into these kinds of horrors because of all the torture she's suffered. Because remember, she's been 7 years living in this sort of like half-life of just unceasing agony from these terrible burns and from the psychic trauma of having torn her own mind in half, as well as all the childhood trauma of being bullied, of being treated as a symbol for her church, being used by her mother as a sacrifice. Ultimately, really not a good situation. Which is why these creatures that you see in the game exist as they do. You've got like there's one thing that obviously a lot of people know about Silent Hill is that the monsters tend to be symbolic in some way. In Silent Hill 1, they're symbolic of all of her fears. So you've got obviously the dogs, because I think there's a thing about her being attacked by a dog when she was younger. I'm not entirely sure why the mole people are there, but you've got the ghost kids in the Japanese and American version. In the school, you've got little children with knives, you know, being representative of the kids in her school who used to treat her as an outcast and a monster. Got the weird creatures in the sewer. I'm not entirely sure what they're supposed to represent beyond just, you know, the weird shit in the sewers that kids are afraid of. The nurses and the doctors who have the weird, like, parasites on their backs. Pretty sure they're supposed to be symbolic of the people who've been, like, puppeteered by Dahlia to keep her alive. Because I'm pretty sure Dahlia is like the parasites are supposed to be a metaphor for Dahlia, the one who's behind it all, you know, controlling shit. Not entirely sure why the bosses are mostly just monster bugs, but that's well, okay. So the moth, obviously, as you see by her bedroom, which is obviously the room that we were in at the beginning of this particular stream. She used to collect butterflies and moths, so I suppose that came about as a part of her happier memories. And the creature you fight in the basement of the school seems to be representative of like the story that you find about You know, the knight fighting the monster that can only be hurt when it opens its mouth. But yeah, so that's the basic rundown. I apologize for all this rambling I've just done, but I just like to talk about this stuff because it's such a fascinating game and fascinating franchise for the fact that you can look at it and play it, and it's just this weird disjointed monster thing. Oh yeah, I'm not entirely sure what those bird things are supposed to be, or the monkey people, other than just fucking creepy. I guess maybe she's afraid of birds and like big hulking dudes. But I love talking about this stuff, and there's so much to be drawn from it. And of course, as people know, the Silent Hill 2 remake recently coming out, Silent Hill 2 has a ton more symbolism to it, as does Silent Hill 3. Like Silent Hill 3, I'm most excited to get to, because that's actually my favorite one in the franchise. Like, I love and appreciate Silent Hill 2. It is an amazing game, but Silent Hill 3 is my favorite, which I'll obviously get into when we get there. But yeah, the symbolism becomes a lot more intense as the franchise goes on. But it can just be seen as this spooky game where weird shit's happening, but a lot of it is just steeped in metaphor. If you want some better explanations than the like rambling nonsense I've come up with over the last however long, 20 minutes or so, I do recommend like reading into it. Although, again, if you've not actually played any of the other ones, either play them for yourself. Like, I do highly recommend playing Silent Hills 2 and 3 at the very least. Whether it be, I don't know about the remake because I haven't played the remake yet, so I can't like recommend that one yet. But if you can play the original Silent Hill 2 and Silent Hill 3, just do it. They're worth your time. If not, feel free to stick around. I will get to them. They are on my shelf. They are on my list. I'm not entirely sure when I'm going to get to it. I do kind of want to go through some of the others. Like, I'm thinking about going back and doing now Onimusha 2, maybe, or diving into some other things, because like, I've got a bunch of games here that I'm hyped to either share with people or play for the first time. Like, I've got me Project Zeros. Fucking love Project Zero. I'm going to be playing those at some point. Some Yakuza, Soul Reaver, and some weird shit I've never touched before, like Shadow of Memory and Eternal Ring. A lot of it's PS2, granted, but I do also have other stuff sort of stacked around. So, yeah, I'm not entirely sure what I'm jumping into next. But next Tuesday, I will certainly be doing another little bit of a run through Little Goody Two Shoes, because we're trying to get the Rosenmarine endings for that, as well as some other bits and pieces in there that I hadn't gotten in my first run. But yeah, I mean, other than that, please feel free to reach out to me if you have any suggestions or requests or recommendations. I can obviously reach over at Twitch, this is Twitch, you know where this is. YouTube, you can find me on YouTube, comment to me on there at the TARDIS Tent, or at my Twitter, which I do believe is Man of Page. That's quickly. So I'm TARDIS Tent on there, and my @ is Man of Pej. That's MANOFPEJ. I'm also on TikTok as well, but I don't do quite as much there as I probably should. I really need to post more videos and stuff of PP, since I am gathering those at a rate of knots. Also, we didn't get around to it, but please feel free to check out my friend Ozol's stuff as well. I think he's just finished Stick of Truth, Southwest Stick of Truth, so he's getting into other stuff there. Over at Osana 90 on YouTube, Old Friends Gaming 90 on Twitch, and Osana23290 on TikTok. Those are, I think. Oh, he also has. Actually, he does also have Instagrams, if I recall. I also have Instagram for some bizarre reason that I occasionally remember to use, which is also the TARDIS tent, obviously, because that's just who I am. What is this thing on the Instagrams? Sorry about this. We'll find it. I'm sure it's probably Osana 90. It usually is. Yeah, Osana 90. OSENA 90. Check him out. Got some good shit going on there. And yeah, like I said, I'm going to be back on Tuesday. Gonna go to Two-Shoes. Thursday, not sure. I'm probably not going to do anything tomorrow, but I will probably make a post just being like, hey, I've been doing this for a year. How cool is that? Yay! Because I am kind of proud of that. That is an achievement, I think. It's been a bit rough. Obviously, there's been a couple of weeks where I haven't been able to do it, but you know, we're in this. We're in this. I'm not stopping anytime soon. I'm enjoying this way too much, and I've got too much to share. So, until then, I hope you guys have good weeks. I hope good things come to you. You're safe and warm and happy, and I will see you again. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.